Hi and welcome to Toys, Figures and Robots, and to a collection spotlight of the Real Ghostbusters. The Real Ghostbusters, one of my very favourite cartoons growing up and still to this day. I think it's my favourite part of the whole Ghostbusters property. I enjoyed that cartoon so much and I still do to this day. So I was always going to want to have representations in my toy collection of the toys and the cartoon. So what do I have in my collection? So first up we have got Kenner's Ray. So this is the original release from back in '85 from Kenner Toys. It is not my original toy. I never had Ray as a kid. This was a gift from a friend, and I know that this came from their own personal childhood collection. So I know it's been played with and looked after, and it's a very sentimental piece. I know that this collector doesn't have much of their Ghostbusters collection left, and to give away part of it, it's very endearing and it's a very thoughtful gift. And to be reacquainted with a Ghostbusters figure from way back when is just an incredible thing to have once again. As toys go, it's great. It is just like the cartoon. From the way that he looks, you know, he always had that little portly belly on him. His face sculpt is absolutely spot on, and it has the fun play factor of the neutrino wand that you can twist around. A lot of time when you pick up a vintage Ghostbusters Kenner figure, they're not always in the best condition. These will often be broken or chewed, but he's a great representation. I loved playing with Ghostbusters figures back in the day. They're very simple, somewhat naive, but that was 3 3/4. I guess this is a bit maybe 4. A little bit bigger than a Joe, but yeah, it's just, even the tampographed logo has stood the test of time. Really iconic and such a fun piece to pick off the shelf and play with, as well as to have on display. So that is the original Kenner Ray stance. I didn't have Ray. I had Peter. Back in the day, when I knew I was going to get a Ghostbusters toy, it was half term back in '85, just when the cartoon had aired, and you'd watch it on the evening just after school. It would come on, and you know, I would race home from school because I knew the Real Ghostbusters was going to be on TV, and it was half term, and I knew what was coming. This is what happens in half term. My mum would take me to town to the Manda Centre in Wolverhampton, clothes shopping. But the joy of clothes shopping for a kid, is there any joy in clothes shopping when you're a kid? No. But you get to go to either the toy store or the department store, Woolworths or BT's or Argos or Index, the poor man's Argos, and you would go and get a toy. And I was adamant I was going to go and get a Ghostbuster. The thing with Argos is, though, you'd flip through the catalogue and you'd see the toys, and you'd go to the number because they were pictured, and it would say, you know, number 5, Real Ghostbusters action figure, and it would show all 4 of them. But then it would have an asterisk and say 1 action figure supplied. So it's a gamble. You didn't know what was going to come down that conveyor belt when you typed in the 6-digit number. So that was always kind of an excitement if you went to go and get your toy from Argos. So yeah, in you go, you type in the 6 digits, you go to the cashier, and you see your toy come down the conveyor belt, and there it is. I ended up with Peter Venkman. The thing is, I really wanted Peter Venkman. He was my favourite then. So, what happens next? I'll tell you what happens next. Hasbro go through the archives because they purchased Kenner in the early 90s and re-releases Peter Venkman back out on a card. So these were released last year, and oh my god, a return to the Kenner toy line. As you see, there is the Kenner logo, and I am reunited with a Peter Venkman. I couldn't believe it when I saw that Hasbro were gonna re-release Kenner figures. The waves of nostalgia just come absolutely flooding back. I don't remember the card being this huge though. It's massive, but it is just, even if it doesn't look the same, it evokes that time, because this is how carded figures came back in the day. Huge giant logo, a bit of spiel, you get to see the figure, and they're as close as the original toys that could be. And then you get to see the rest of the wave. And they all came with these lovely rubbery ghosts and different coloured Neutrona ones. What a return to glory for Hasbro to go into the vaults and re-release these. Obviously to coincide with an anniversary of Ghostbusters and to promote their new film. He's forever gonna stay carded because it's too beautiful. And with the fact of having Ray, I don't need to open him. I can just enjoy him on the card. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit, just having it in my hand. It's an absolutely stunning piece, and I've got to give props to Hasbro for taking a chance on getting something out of the archive. Can't they do it with other things though? There's so many Joes that they could dig out, and there's blueprints in that archive. I know there is. There's got to be. Come on, bring us back some Mask. I digress from Ghostbusters. But yeah, Peter was my absolute fave back then, and to have a carded representation now is just phenomenal. As an adult though, I guess things change, and so does your favourite Ghostbuster. My favourite Ghostbuster now is Egon. With Egon becoming my favourite Ghostbuster, I just had to get a representation of him. So I went for Diamond Select's Egon Spengler, and I often talk about it. He looks like he jumped off the screen and into my hand. This is the perfect representation of Egon. From the hairstyle, to the colour of his uniform, to his red glasses, to his stature. This toy is absolutely stunning. It's everything that I could want from an action figure. It looks just like he does on the screen. It's got ridiculous amounts of articulation again. They often do, Diamond Select. You can pose him in various bits. He has awesome accessories. Obviously he's got his backpan and his Neutrona wand, but he comes with a PKE meter and a trap. He is absolutely phenomenal. The sculpting on the hair, there's his little rat's tail. The paintwork is just sublime. It's the tidiest Ghostbuster logo. The pads, they feel absolutely lovely. The detail around his belt, the ridges on his clothing, he's absolutely immaculate. He's one of the best figures I've bought in the last few years. He came number 2 in my top 5 toys of 2019. The hands are sculpted so he can hold his Neutrona wand perfectly, and there's enough articulation to give him a bent knee stance as he takes down any sort of spook or spectre. And there is a bit to attach his trap to his backpack. Holds his Neutrona wand absolutely perfect, and the way that the fingers are placed, you can have it so it's just touching the button. It's an absolutely ridiculously good action figure, and it's perfect for my type of collecting. I do have a collecting regret though now. I've often said I'm not a completionist. I never have been, and I really doubt that I will be. But part of me does regret perhaps not getting the other 3 to have a full collection, because they all utilise different body shapes and they all obviously have their different coloured uniforms. I just think it'd be incredible to have all 4 of them on a shelf together. But that's the beauty of collecting, isn't it? You can have a kind of a wish list and a dream, and as the years go by, I really do hope to now pick up more of them. They are getting rarer, and I never see them out in the toy shops, and I probably won't as COVID goes on. You can't get out toy hunting at the moment, but one day I'll go for all 4. I've been Rudy Sasu. This has been Toys, Figures and Robots. And as COVID-19 continues, stay home, stay safe, stay strong. Thanks for watching.